Candles and Cabernet. Birthday candles jitter in the low light, reflections skating across a glass of cab that nobody's touched. I check my phone for the 11th time in half an hour. Still ghost town. My nail taps the screen. Tick, tick, tick. The tempo of a chest that won't unclench. "Should we hold the table a little longer, Ms. Lewis?" The waiter asks, eyes kind, like he's seen this movie and hates the ending. 4 empty chairs grin around me. 1 mini cake waits on the white tablecloth like a dare. 15 more. I smile like glass. 3rd extension. We both know what it means. Emerald silk slides cool under my fingers. I bought the blouse for tonight, a treat I didn't need to justify anymore. Couples laugh, silverware sings, a cork pops somewhere behind me. It's all soundtrack. I'm the B-roll. 2 weeks back, I booked Ellison's, Denver's new try to get a table spot. I just landed $1.2 million in angel funding for Verdant Alchemy Co., my natural skincare baby I built on caffeine, second mortgages, and pure stubborn. I texted the family chat. Birthday plus big news. Thursday, 7 p.m. Table for 5, crickets. Reminder, crickets. Final ping with the res. Still nothing. It shouldn't shock me. At 16, Dad took my brother Theo to Montana for a 2-week men's trip. I asked why I wasn't invited. "He needs investment," Dad said. "You need stability." Translation, he gets gas money. You get good luck. At 22, I co-signed Theo's motorcycle loan. 6 months later, he went poof on payments, and I kept the bank from nuking my credit. Dad said thanks while helping Theo install custom pipes. Cute. I take a sip of water, swallow tight. My family's always there, just never where it counts. The cake isn't the only thing about to get lit. The stranger with library eyes. "Excuse me," a voice says. I look up. Salt and pepper hair, tortoiseshell frames, suit that fits like it has opinions. "Happy birthday," he adds, nodding at the cake. Not pity, presence. "Thank you," I say, surprising myself. "I'm Alexander," he says, sliding into the seat across from me only after I nod. He sets down a weathered leather portfolio. I write about resilience. A small smile. "You look fluent." What gave me away? "The posture of someone who's waited and didn't break," he says, like he's stating the weather. The waiter appears with a lighter. Alexander lifts a brow. "May I?" I nod. Tiny flames bloom. "So, what brings you here, all dressed up and patient as a saint?" he asks. "Closed a big round for my company," I say. "Thought my family would want to toast." The word family tastes like overbrewed coffee. "Then they're missing a front row seat," he says. Tell me about the company that earned it. For once, I don't downplay. Verdant Alchemy, clean skincare, real sourcing, we partner with sustainable farms. I pull our site on my phone. The hero shot of our bestseller gleams. "Beautiful," he says, and I feel something inside me unlatch. Sunshine after days of gray. I inhale. I blow out the candles. My wish edits itself midair. Not their approval. My own backbone. "I'm done waiting," I whisper. "Hardest flex there is," Alexander says. "Some folks can't give what they don't have." We split the cake. I talk about Theo's bike, the rent I covered, the boat repair after he dinged Dad's skiff during boys' weekend, about building while they spectated. I still love them, I admit. Love with boundaries is still love, he says. Honestly, it's the grown-up kind. 3 years from these candles, everything I chose tonight will pay compound interest. Mornings, media, momentum. Sun drops gold on my balcony rail. Boulder's sky is that textbook Colorado blue. 3 years since the birthday that rewired my heart, and yeah, the universe noticed. Yesterday's interview about Verdant crossing $35 valuation is blowing up. Comments call me the new face of natural beauty. Cute. If only they knew how unnatural my family can be. Phone rings, Mom. We've kept it civil, holiday texts and awkward coffee. I consider voicemail, swipe anyway. Farah, honey. Sugar voice I haven't heard since senior year. Did you see my messages? I was just, Theo's getting married. Can you believe it? Finally, we'd love your help with the celebration. Congrats. When? June. She drops the real thing like it's confetti. Your brand with our family name, Lewis Beauty. Love it, right? We've always been your biggest supporters. The lie stings worse than the truth. I'll think about it, I say in my media voice. Textings. Theo? Sis! Wedding hype. Also, my racing team needs a primary sponsor. Only $300K for the season. Killer exposure for Verdant, LMK. I set the phone face down, suddenly more altitude than oxygen. When folks smell success, they start writing checks from your account, receipts, and resolve. At the office, I open a dusty folder of old photos. Theo's diploma, parents beaming, Dad and Mom in matching jackets beside his first race car. My college grad photo? Just me. Mortarboard crooked, because they were at state regionals. It presses old bruises. Alexander's voicemail lands. Saw the interview. You built this despite, not because of. Dinner? I open a fresh spreadsheet and title it, Family Financial History. Line by line, I tally the invisible sponsorships I provided. The motorcycle, the 6 months of Theo's rent, the boat repair, the temporary credit card fix. The total blinks at me. $47,000. This isn't punishment, I tell my quiet office. It's policy. My CFO, Martin, steps in with quarterlies. Everything okay? Family, I say. Legally, you owe them nothing, he says. I know. And for once, I feel it. Rachel texts, saw Theo's sponsor post? Let me guess. He's fishing in your pond. They didn't show up for you. Why bankroll the sequel? My mouth twitches. Rachel has a gift for clean cuts. Courier drops a card. Alexander's handwriting. Boundaries aren't walls. They're load-bearing. That night, I write an email, polite, final, with the spreadsheet attached. If we're talking collaboration, we start at 0, eyes open, and no entangling my company with personal events. Send. Mom replies in under 5 minutes. How dare you? After everything we've done, be grateful. I breathe, type. I was grateful, in silence, in money, in time. I'm choosing a different kind now. Alexander shows up for dinner and doesn't ask for the play-by-play. He just brings Ty and quiet. We eat on the balcony, watching the mountains go pink. The next knock at my office comes with frosting and an agenda. Cake at the office. Miss Lewis, your mother and brother are here, reception buzzes. They say it's urgent. They brought cake. 10-minute break, I tell my team, calm enough to steady coffee. Before I step out, I tell Greg to prep distribution figures. No way they derail my meeting. Mom's in cream and gardenia, expensive and bright. Theo's in designer denim playing chill. Surprise! She trills, lifting a bakery box. We thought we'd celebrate your Forbes feature. No hard feelings about missing your calls lately. We take it to the small conference room. Theo taps our glass case on the way. These little bottles must be printing money, he says. My brand director, Jessica, glides by. Director of brand strategy now, she reminds him with a pro smile. He loves a title, even when it's not his. Door closed. I stay standing. This is my workplace, I say. Why are you here? Mom clutches pearls. Can't we visit our successful daughter without an agenda? Last ask was $300K, I say. Before that, Wedding costs. You've changed, Mom says. Success made you cold. I didn't change, I answer. I stopped pretending. Theo leans forward. We're family, Farah. That means something. Yeah, I say softly. It means love without invoices, support without strings, showing up without a camera. That's not what you're asking for. We've sacrificed, Mom snaps. For what? I ask, and the question just lands. You wouldn't co-sign my first business loan. You never brought cake when I was sleeping on the office floor. On my birthday at Ellison's, you all forgot how texting works. That's not fair, Theo mutters. What's not fair, I say, is using family as a debit card. I'm not your ATM. Silence. Mom lifts her bag like a shield. We see we've caught you at a bad time. Any time you come with expectations is a bad time, I say, voice even. Calendar a call next week if you want to talk. 30 minutes, no business. They leave with tight smiles. I watch their reflections disappear in the glass. My phone buzzes. Alexander. Coffee after your ambush? Proud of you. Partner. I'll take your afternoon meetings. Breathe. Mentor. How's your spine? Looks titanium from here. That night, I draft a no to Theo's wedding invite. Kind card, appropriate gift, no attendance weaponized. I set up a family emergencies only trust with my advisor. Fences, not walls. Facebook fires up, and Theo picks a public hill to die on. The post-Theo status. Some people only care about money, not family. It pings around mutuals in 5 minutes. Tags start flying. DMs, you okay? Family drama? I type and delete 14 versions of a clapback. Then I post 15 words. Family isn't debt. It should be love, freely given. I hope we all find that. Notifications flood, classmates, mentors, even my 3rd grade teacher. Proud of you, been there, graceful response. I set the phone down like it's finally not on fire. Rachel calls. He went nuclear in the group chat. Your mom rang half the city to set the record straight. Let me guess, they supported me from day one? Baby, 22 investors believed before they even asked what you sell, she says. Heads up, your dad's pitching the Chamber Boys. I shower, dress in forest green, gold hoops, armor chic. Emma meets me with coffee. 3 calls from someone named Theodore. Block? Block. Also, Keystone Capital. Mr. Harrington. He sounded bemused. Your brother called him. My face warms. Not fear. Fury. Lunch. Today. We meet at the same restaurant where the candles failed, and I don't. Ellison's, again. James Harrington looks over his glasses like a principal with a favorite student. Your brother called, he says, dry as Denver air. Suggested family issues might rattle the business. Family and business don't mix in my world, I say. Not now, not ever. He nods. Quarterlies say 28% growth. The work speaks louder than the noise. We're good. Thank you, I breathe. He did say he's owed a collaboration, James adds. Owed is not a business model, I say. Smart woman, he says, offering a menu. The salmon slaps. Back at the office, I click launch on the Verdant Foundation, micro grants and mentorship for women founders who feel like I used to. Talented, broke, and invisible. I donate $20,000 anonymous to the Colorado Motorcycle Safety Initiative. No shade, just symmetry. Dad texts, your mother is devastated. This public humiliation is beneath you. I pour wine and ignore it. 3 new interviews land in my inbox about sustainability, supply chain transparency, innovation, blissfully family-free. Doorbell at 7. Alexander holding takeout. Figured you weren't in the C&B scene mood? Correct. We eat on the balcony. He called my investors, I say. That crosses every line, Alexander says, jaw set. They didn't buy it, I tell him. Turns out, spreadsheets clap back. He smiles. Restraint looks good on you. No cap. The wedding invite gets a reply, with terms, negotiations and non-negotiables. Mom's voicemail, take 3. We're still your parents, no matter what. The ivory invitation arrives. Brown Palace Hotel, maximum sparkle. The note inside says time for healing. My gut says time for boundaries. Alexander drops by with Spruce Bakery coffee. They mailed photo albums? He asks, eyeing the stack. Yellow sticky notes flag memories. Subtle as a brick, I say. Text from Theo. Dad's blood pressure is high. Please come to the wedding. Last week was migraines, I tell Alexander. They're speed-running ailments. How are you? He asks. Tired, I say. Not sad. It feels like a rerun. Not cold, he says. Clear. He holds my gaze. Design the relationship you can live with, not the one they demand. I draft an email. I'll attend the ceremony and reception for 3 hours only. No business talk, no sponsorships, no collab pitches. Future contact, scheduled calls in public places, 30 minutes, mutual respect. Verdant alchemy stays out of family finances. Always. Send. I feel something settle in my chest, not lightness. Structure. Brown Palace Ballroom, round 2. This time, I write my cues, the wedding rulebook. Crystal chandeliers glow. My champagne sweats in my hand. Alexander stands steady at my side in charcoal. Theo and his bride Jessica float over. You made it, he says, surprise leaking past the grin. And you brought a date. Alexander, I say, congrats. Thank you for the gift, Jessica says. Our envelope held a modest check and a leather-bound financial planning guide with a card. May your partnership be built on mutual support and respect. Grown-up energy only. Theo leans in. About the racing team. I put a hand up, gentle. Today's about your marriage, Theo. Let's keep it that way. Alexander's thumb brushes my waist, our agreed signal. Hold the line. Mom appears in chiffon and expectation. Darling, a word? Family matters. She smiles at Alexander in a way that excludes him. She parks me near the dessert table, gardenias loud. We were hurt by your email. Setting terms to come to your brother's wedding? Cold. I needed clarity, I say. We're family, she says, like the word should part the sea. Family supports without conditions. Support flows both ways, I say, steady. I love you. I love me too. Something shifts in her eyes. Maybe the first time my refusal doesn't trigger collapse. We won't be around forever, she tries. I know, I say, and when you truly need me, I'll show up. But wanting access to my company isn't need, it's entitlement. She exhales, smaller than I've ever seen her. Will you call next week? Sunday, 30 minutes, like we agreed. We rejoin the dance. Across the room, Theo watches, then lifts his glass. Not warmth yet, but a white flag. We hit the 3-hour mark. Alexander squeezes my hand. Ready? I look back once and feel nothing sharp. Ready. A year later, the candles flicker again, but the chairs aren't empty. Chosen family? Chosen future? My kitchen is warm with voices I actually want to hear. Rachel raises her glass. To choosing family and yourself. We cheer because it's not awkward to. Business crossed $45 valuation last quarter. The book Alexander and I co-wrote, The Boundary Blueprint, sits on the coffee table, gold title catching light. The ache I used to carry is now a distant weather report. I blow out candles in one breath. Rachel slices cake. Same restaurant, 4 years later, she says. Completely different energy. Different company changes the meal, I say. I slip to my study and jot today's line in my journal. Love doesn't require self-erasure. Therapy taught me that fences with gates are not punishments. They're design choices. Holidays are cordial now. Theo brings his wife. My parents ask about business like civilians. We manage. On my terms, doorbell. A young founder I mentor, also named Jessica, stands there, notebook clutched. Sorry to crash. I got offered a partnership with my dad's company. He says I owe him. I want my own thing. I feel horrible. Obligation and love are different currencies, I say, ushering her in. One drains you. One fills you. We sketch her plan, boundaries, budget, launch runway. Watching her spine straighten feels like watching a foundation cure. My podcast clip from last month keeps circulating. Forgiveness doesn't require repeat access. The DMs are wild, in a good way. People letting themselves off hooks they never should have been hung on. In the kitchen, Alexander lights a single candle on the last slice of cake. Do you ever wish they had shown up that night? He asks. No, I say. If they had, I might have missed you. We stand on the balcony. City lights blink on like stars. He hands me a glass of cab, the same vintage I didn't drink at Ellison's. Any regrets? Just one, I say, teasing, that I didn't set boundaries sooner. But hey, better know than never. Tomorrow they might try again. Tonight I'm busy living my answer. Postscript. Clean lines. 2 days later, Mom's voicemail is soft with practice. Some bonds can't be broken even when they stretch. I delete it. Not cruel, clean. Theo posts less now. His sponsor quietly stepped back after recent revelations about character. I didn't ask. The truth did what truth does. At work, Emma says, we have 12 foundation applications in the first hour. I read each one over lunch, circle 3 for microgrants, set up intro calls with mentors who don't confuse advice with control. That night, Alexander and I finalize outlines for our webinar on ethical scaling. His note in the margin, make a slide, boundaries barriers. They are bridges that charge tolls. I laugh out loud. That's corny, I say. And correct, he says. We keep it. The story didn't end with a confrontation. It ended with a construction plan. Final beat. Sometimes the loneliest table becomes your first act of freedom. Sometimes a stranger with library eyes hands you a mirror, and you finally like what you see. My birthday wish wasn't for their applause. It was for my voice. Turns out, that wish has range. When tomorrow's texts arrive, a photo, a nudge, a be a team player, my reply is already written in the shape of my life. I love you. Here are my terms. No smoke, no spectacle, just clean lines and a door that opens from my side only. The candles that once flickered over an empty table now light a room full of people who choose to be here. Not because they're obligated, but because they're home. End.